Well, this is not good. It is September 7th and we're in fall weather. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. This ain't normal. But today is harvest day 2. The truck has got one load on it. The cart down at the chicken houses is full, so we're going to break out 2 more 500 bushel carts, and we'll fill those up today. It's gonna be Sunday afternoon. We got church in a little bit, but it's just gonna be going around the house. But look what I got to show you guys. We got a skid hitch from May Wes Manufacturing, and we're about to put the thing to the use.
From Central City, Kentucky, the home of True Vine Farms, the one and only Farmer King.
Have you ever just wondered when you gotta move like a spreader to get back to a grain cart and you just don't want to work the jack all the time? You know the perfect thing to use? The skid hitch. Except we don't even have a skid loader. That's just the front end loader on a tractor. It's got the Bobcat style front end loader, so it works perfect on a tractor too. Well, look what I got, this handy dandy little vacuum. Unfortunately, we've suffered our first breakdown. Now, it should be, knock on wood, it should be not a time-consuming thing to fix. But I'm not so sure because basically this drum has fell down on the feeder house. There's just a bolt in there that holds that drum up, so we just got to put a new bolt in with the spacer and tighten it up. Like I said, it's one bolt. How long does it take you to put one bolt in? Ready?
Yeah.
So this year is probably going to be a pretty challenging year with combine setup. In the last field, we were throwing a little bit of kernels out the back of the machine, but our corn, it's September 6th today, which is super early for harvest, and our corn is testing anywhere from 11 to 13% moisture, which is super dry for any time of the year, especially this early in the year. So we're going to knock the sieves up, and we're losing a lot of corn with the header, with butt shelling, and there's really not much you can do with that because our corn is light, small kernels, and then with the header it just hits and you can't do much to save it because when we don't get no rain, this is what happens. We planted this corn probably in the middle of April, depending on which field, between the middle and 1st of May, or middle of April and 1st of May is when this corn got planted.
Around April 20th.
So anyways, we are earlier than most people just because we planted earlier, and I know our partner, we didn't get to plant his ground until later in the year, so I'm curious to see how his corn does, because his corn went through all the stress of rain, and then his got hit even worse with the stress of no rain and heat when trying to put an ear on. But then he's also farming river bottom ground too, so the ground probably holds a little bit more moisture.
This was all hill ground too that we planted. So that's why we're able to plant it earlier when everything else was wet, and then that's one reason why it dried out earlier.
Yeah. So we just did a yield calculation. This is a 4-acre field. We're going around our home farm, like where our house and all that's at right now. And it came out to an average of 158 bushels an acre. So that means we have to fill that 500 bushel cart and the combine will be full if that calculation's right. I hope that is, because I ain't harvesting any good corn yet. So this is a new to us combine as far as running it and getting it set how we like it. So we're struggling a little bit between finding a good setting of keeping trash out of the tank, but keeping all the corn in the combine. And see, we had our 1660 pretty dialed in, but we're trying to learn this 2388. And when I'm combining, I can see corn in the next pass that's been thrown into the rows coming out from the spreaders. So I slowed the fan down to try to keep the corn from flying out, and that lets more trash in the tank. So I've been slowing the fan down to 100 RPMs. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back up 50, open the sieves up just a little bit, and see what we got there, because we're still trying to find a good setting. And what I'll show you guys is see, look at that kernel. Got one here. That's not butt shelling, that's out of the combine. And tomorrow we're finishing this field, but we're gonna try to get it. My dad's gonna work on the corn head tomorrow, because we are getting a ton. Butt shelling is where the ear gets yanked down, and when it hits the corn head, the bottom half of the kernel will sort of fall off and fall into the ground. And normally we've never had an issue, but this is the first time we've ran this specific 8-row head, pretty similar to our 6-row head. So what we're going to try to do is move, tomorrow we're going to move our deck plates in so it has more surface area to hit, because unfortunately due to no rain we have small cobs this year, and we are fighting that issue. But you can see you got 3 kernels right there. I mean, it's just, we're just dusting the ground with kernels, and it's not enjoyable. But I'm having more fun because this field's averaging about 160 bushels an acre, which ain't good, but it's a lot better than what we've been in. We're doing good. We're on track for a higher yielding field.
Oh yeah.
I'm over half full. I'm about half full in the combine, and our grain cart's full.
Yeah.
And we still got like a lot of the field left. Normally this doesn't happen. Change of plans. My dad brought tools, so we're gonna work on the deck plates right now, because my mom's going to get Mexican tonight, and it's still gonna be like an hour before she gets food. And we got an acre left, right? Should have plenty of time. Last famous words. We got an hour and an acre left. So how long is it gonna take us?
We won't be done. We'll have to quit tonight before we're done. We're going to have to get out here before the deer gets us. When I went down to True Vine, we saw 5 deer in the field, and we came back out and saw 5 more, and those weren't the 5 that was in there. And then when I came here, I bet I've seen 15 just driving through the fields we've done. There's like 4 right over here in the corner.
Are we leaving too much corn in the field?
I guess we're feeding the deer population.
So you guys are learning farming. You have 2 important passes, the most important passes across the field: your planter pass and your combine pass. And we are struggling with all get out to get this head to work right. Not work right, but minimize head loss, because the corn is so small and so dry. So we're going to do an in-field stop where I'm going to be combining, and I'm going to turn the head off, so that way we can see exactly what's going on. adjustments didn't really help that much. I think the best, so what we did on the deck plates, we just adjusted one out of the two. Tomorrow my dad's gonna adjust both of them. I don't know, it's an oddball year. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. That field ended up averaging higher than we expected. It's in that 160 range, maybe a little higher by a couple bushels an acre, but we'll take the good with the bad, and that was a good field. So we'll pick up again in the next day of harvest on the next video. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, faith, family, farming. See you in the next one.